How to hit the 40-yard pitch shot using the PlaneMate. Welcome to part 3 on how to save shots using the PlaneMate. Today we're going to talk about how to hit the simple, basic pitch shot from 30 to 45 yards that every golfer needs to know how to use. Tell you what, it's unbelievable if you know how to do the setup and the procedures with this, but oftentimes from my teaching experience, I have seen people complicate this by doing too big of a swing, too much movement, and today's lesson is going to clearly show you that anybody can do this. And I tell you what, you'll walk away from this and you will be already better. So here, let's dive right into it. The setup. It's got several points that are key for you to master, and you need to make it very important. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna have our feet a little closer together than a regular shot. So a little bit, underneath your hips. Ball position, let's just keep it middle. You could get more special and have it back, but let's just say, let's keep it in the middle of the stance. Other thing, let's have the shaft lean a little bit forward, okay? And then lastly, and really, really important, is the legs. Just put them a little bit, for these 30 to 40, 45 yard shots, just lean a little bit with your legs to the target. And we're gonna keep them there on the backswing. I'll go over that when I hit, but this is vital for getting the contact, okay? So put about 60 to 70% of the weight on the left side, okay? So using the PlaneMate in the setup, got it 4 to 5, 5 to 6 inches down on the shaft. I'm using the short band. Here's the setup points again, middle of the stance, shaft lean with my legs, and then with the PlaneMate, I'm gonna simply straighten out my arms, and then I'm gonna bend from the hips, and I've got a mild resistance here. And then what we wanna feel with that mild resistance, when we go back, we wanna keep everything pretty quiet on the takeaway. Just let our arms get a nice stretch back, but we're gonna feel here the same amount of tension with the band as we do at setup. We don't want it to grow and gain more tension, but most importantly, what I see from an instructional standpoint is people do this number right here, and that is a no-no. So from this angle here, this is what we want. We want to see the club head stay in front, and that is perfect. And I can feel the same resistance as when I started. Big no-no here. That's what we want to get rid of. You can see how the right elbow folded, club's inside, and then a lot of bad things can happen from there. Okay, on the front end, this is the beautiful thing about the PlaneMate here. The resistance we feel here, when we come through it, we're gonna feel our core, belly button, our hips, our left leg, everything is pivoting and rotating to hit the ball, and our hands stay ahead of the club face. And when we get through here, we're gonna make a sharp left-hand turn, and we're gonna finish right here. And you can see the pie in between here. It's even greater if you do that, but we do not want this. That's the flip. So that's the technique part of it. Okay, so from this end here, so you can see the whole thing from this angle. Hands in front, gather the ball, rotate. All right, I'm gonna hit a shot here, and I'm gonna show you how simple this is and this method. I'm gonna get my setup, number 1. I'm gonna get to the ball here, then I'm gonna back up a couple inches, and then I'm gonna go from setup to the resistance. Feel the resistance, and then feel the rotation. That's how I'm thinking in my head, and it gives you a simple formula to remember each time. And that's, let's go ahead and try one here. This is about a 35, 40 yard shot. All right, get my setup, feel the resistance, rotate, see what we got here. And it looks like about 3 or 4 feet from the hole there, and it felt good. And you can see I just barely brushed the grass. You don't want to, this is not a steep shot. We just want to barely clip it like that. That's what we're trying to do with this. Nothing too steep. The angle of attack is vitally important on this shot. I'm going to challenge you to try this pitching method. It's very simple. Roll the tape back and just see the setup, how to do the technical points with this. It's really not that difficult, but you do need to go through these steps and procedures, and it can really make a difference in your short game. It simplifies it. So if you're playing in a tournament, if you've got a game with your buddies, you got a little money on the line, this is something that can perform under the pressure. Getting wristy and a lot of body movement and handsy and armsy, it's a recipe for disaster. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. And you want to have a method that's going to be there day in, day out, 40, 50 yards in. this can be really good, you can lower your scores, because every day you don't hit the ball exactly the same. It's not always perfect, but if we can have that short game be really good, we want that to be good every day. So stay tuned for part 4, where it's going to be a really fun, challenging shot. It's going to be a specialty pitching shot, and I'm going to leave it at that. Until then, hope you have a great week. Check out our Patreon on our BGI YouTube page, and we really want to say thanks to all our subscribers and our followers out there. Share this with your friends, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.